Shawn and Nikki are extremely cringe, but it seems like she may be trying. But let's talk about it.
How we get up, just call back, right back. We can spend, then get it right back, man. She just gotta want all of that, so that's why I bought.
Hey y'all, welcome back, Candy, for another episode of Married at First Sight, season 20, episode 3. So we pick up where we left off with Shawn and Nikki's wedding. All right. And so she speaks on why she tried getting married in the way that she did, right? So it's time for her to talk about that. Then she gives her spiel and says that she promises to celebrate him and love him in the little ways and big ways that will anchor them. Of course, she's just repeating what she already likely wrote out because she was thinking she was going to be talking to her ideal guy. And it's so apparent that Shawn is not her ideal guy because we can guarantee she is not going to love him in the little and the big ways, okay? At all. Because she already got an issue with him being little. And he's not little, but he is shorter than what she wanted. And the big way is the fact that he does have a dad bod. I guess is that what they call it? She didn't want a man that was, she wanted somebody that was a little more fit, may have worked out like she did type of thing. So we'll see. Let's just keep it going, okay? Because although she don't seem to be interested, it was a good speech, but we know who that speech was really prepared for, and it wasn't for Shawn. Either way, it's Shawn's turn to talk, and he tells her that he is a doctor. Right. So she may be taking medical doctor. I don't know. But he tells her that he's a doctor and he speaks on the success of his family and the type of people that they are, as far as other doctors and pastors and this and that. It seemed like he had to sell her on what he does and his family because he could tell that she's not as into him right out the gate. Like he's not her type. So he's like, well, if it make you feel better, then I'm a doctor, and a lot of the people in my family, they're successful too. They got some good, I come from a good family now. All right. So he had to give her a little bit of that. And he tells her that he has been buying two of everything since he found out that they had a person for him. He's been buying up two of everything. So he has space for her. Now, what he had to say was very kind. And I think that's something that she will really like. His consideration for her, his thoughtfulness, you know what I'm saying? Um, he has I don't want to say the gift of gab because I do want to believe that he's very genuine in the things that he says, but you could tell he is a sweetheart. But child, I'm not gonna hold you. There are some actions of Shawn that y'all have been trying to point out. First of all, y'all been calling this man Pastor Cal, which is crazy. Then y'all have been alluding to certain type of behavior and that this man may be, and I'm gonna hold off. Okay. I am seeing what you guys seeing. However, it may just be because he's inexperienced or something like that. Like, I'm not gonna put that label on him just yet. I need to see a little bit more. So give me some time, child. But y'all wearing Shawn out. Either way, they once they get married, they go off, they chat. They seem to have a lot in common as far as their interests, right? I think she was a neuroscience major. He loves to listen to neuroscience type of podcasts. So they seem to be on the same level mentally, right? But we'll see. She's thinking that he is like that type of doctor, a doctor that may be in like neuroscience and stuff. He's like, now, wait a minute, hold what you got? Okay, I'm a doctor as far as education is concerned. Okay, I'm one of those doctors. All right. So he talks about life being lonely because he wanted somebody that was like a 10 out of 10. You got to meet all of these qualifications. And it's like Shawn, the audacity. Now, I'm not saying people should not have standards, like, definitely have your standards, but I'm kind of like, some of the guys on the show have been killing me with y'all list of 10 out of 10. And it's like, is you even a 10 out of 10 for somebody while you talking? The problem be that women just be a little more desperate than the guys are. Y'all need to be like some of these ziggers, some of these nuggets out here in my personal, you know? And don't come off of your own standards. Let them be a 10 out of 10. And see, that's one thing that I did appreciate about Nikki. Now, I was like, Nikki, a $50,000 difference. Come on now, girl. Come on now. Like, at least that. Now, ain't nobody saying a 200,000. Ain't nobody saying he gonna be making 50,000 while you making 250,000. But if he makes 200,000 and he has goals and a plan to expand that amount, I don't see anything wrong with that. But I kind of like the fact that she was focused on like what she really wants. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, he got to be a 10 out of 10 too. So I like that. I don't feel like any of the other ladies really had that. So I like that, Nikki was on that and she almost was not going to bend. But what I'm disappointed in, I have to say, is that even with her list, I feel like they didn't really give her what she wanted. I don't like. I mean, I feel like y'all can find a taller person. Yeah, like y'all can find a person that physically met her needs too, and had those things. He had those things. He's a caring person. He's a considerate person, thoughtful, all of those things. So y'all give her that. But honestly, I feel like y'all matched up as much as I look for me. I love that we don't have Dr. Pepper and Pastor Cal. Y'all time is up. And it's no disrespect, no shade. I'm ready to see new people. Oh guys, I'm not even gonna hold you. But I love how the first episode started. So different. Love it. But I will say where they are operating still like Pastor Cal and Dr. Pepper is how y'all partner these people up. And I really feel like this season, y'all focused on finding women that could help the men out. Oh, he may lack this, he may lack that, but I think that she'll complete him and whoop de whoop. And it's somebody I don't like it. Okay, it just seems like the men may have gotten what they wanted, but the women didn't. But we're just gonna see. We're gonna see. Cause the guy, what I think is it Cameron? I don't think he necessarily got what he wanted though. Okay, I don't think so, but we're gonna see. Either way, with these two talking, he said he decided to just wait, right? Talking about Shawn and him having this 10-year type of situation where he wants a certain type of person to have 10 out of 10, right? What I said, 10-year? No, 10 out of 10 situation. But he says that he decided to just wait at the end of the day. If I'm not getting what it is that I want, then let me just wait and see what's gonna happen. And he said he's glad that he waited because it looks like Miss Nikki got what he need. So we'll see. And it's crazy because I do feel like with him wanting and needing that type of person like Nikki, it's oftentimes that person don't want you. The person that possesses all the things that you want, they don't even much be wanting you. But good luck. Caitlyn and Devin, Devin is the pro rugby player. And he talks about how he doesn't want to be a bachelor anymore. He's ready to, work towards something, settle down, be locked in. He's about to be 30, in a few years. So he just wants to already have his family life in place as he gets ready to go into his 30s. And Dr. Brunson is thinking that it may be hard for him to stay monogamous, being that he is a professional rugby player. And so he's like, not necessarily, and if I got my girl and she's working remote and she can be on the move with me, that's going to be ideal for me. That's perfect. So, Dr. Bronson is like, what kind of girl would you like? And he says a Sydney Sweeney. And I feel like if you're interested in Sydney Sweeney, although she is a very beautiful young lady, it tells me a lot about you. I know the people gonna be mad. Naga. I don't care. Okay, that's what it's given. However, let's keep going. I was like, I know who you are, sir. I know who you are. But he says he wants to be a better partner than his dad was because his dad wasn't really there, right? He says he doesn't, want to see himself above his partner. He wants them to be good at communicating. He just wants to be different because his dad didn't really show up for him and his siblings. Meanwhile, Caitlyn, she works for a boutique marketing firm. She does spin class. She's an instructor for spin. I believe she's a makeup artist. But primarily with her main job, I do believe that she said is remote. So she could be on the go with him. Right. But then also I feel a way about that too. I'm not gonna hold y'all. Him saying, hopefully, she works remote and she can be on the go with me. It's like, I hear that, but who the hell says she want to go everywhere you go though? If she don't, you gonna be okay with that? Oh, okay. Either way, so she was a high school teacher. She said she was a high school teacher for 3 years, and she said it was a really great job. She really enjoyed it. Right? She talks about how she wants kids and she wants a partner that's not afraid to communicate their feelings, even if they got to be up late at night talking things through. Okay, always wanted a partner that's open to communicate and talking. Love it. All right. Now, wedding day comes. All right. Her dad is big on asking for his daughter's hand in marriage. All right. He is big on that. And because she's doing this process, daddy don't really understand it. So daddy's decided to not walk her down the damn aisle. I said, oh, wow, that okay. All right. It is what it is. Her dad, he was stressed when they got to the wedding. When she walked down the aisle, he was like, oh my God. But he did stand up. He was like, I got to get this off my chest because I'm pressed about, listen. Okay. He spoke his piece. He's like, listen, I'm so uncomfortable. I'm so uncomfortable with giving my child away to a person that I don't even damn know. But you know what? I'm going to trust her. This is my baby girl. I love her dearly. I'm going to trust whatever decision she chooses to make with this. And it is what it is. Okay. And I respected how that daddy stood up. I'm not going to hold y'all. When Logic stood up at Mecca's wedding, it was given, I want all eyes on me. It was like he really interrupted it. But this guy got his out before the speeches even took place, the vows, any of that. He was like, okay, listen, let me go and get this out. Let me just say this real quick. And I thought it was fine, right? As they gave their speeches to each other about supporting each other, at some point the daddy was smiling. And I like that. And what I also liked is, although he did not walk his daughter down the aisle, he did decide to show up for her. And I can appreciate that, right? We get to Cameron and Michelle. They're at the reception. Her dad showed up for her too. And I said, well, that was nice. Maybe he just didn't want to be back there with her as she got dressed because he didn't want to be on camera. But maybe he did go back there. And he just didn't want to be on camera. I don't know. He did write her that nice letter and he showed up to the reception. I don't know if somebody called and said, you need to get your ass here or what it was, but I love that he ended up showing up and, not missing that moment for her. So that was really, really nice. Shawn and Nikki. Nikki talks with her family and they're asking, one of her friends, like, so, what you think? Like, I think y'all look good together, but, I want to know how you feel. Like, do you think y'all look good together? And she was like, girl. Anyway, so let's talk about this. Like, she was avoiding answering the question. So it's so many signs that she's not attracted to him. And if she's not, it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time for her to get there. It is. And she may be comparing him to an ex or the last dude she talked to. Like, the last guy I talked to looked like this or that. Like, you know, maybe that's what it is. But I also feel like when you go into this and you like some qualities about a person, but you're not really sold in on their look, I think she's gonna be nitpicky as hell. Everything he does is going to annoy her. Hello, Anaya, okay, over there on Love Island. But either way, that's what's going on. She wasn't really answering the question. She says that she doesn't want to go all the way on honeymoon night because somebody asked her how far she willing to go, and she was like, I mean, I'll give him a kiss on the cheek. But I really want to take things slow and I want us to become friends first. And I think that's how it should go. Because number one, in my personal, he's already disappointed her in the physical department as far as looks is concerned. If they cross that line and he ain't good sexually either, which I have a feeling he ain't gonna be, listen. Now, Shawn, baby, you at least need to be good in that department. I don't know. You might need to watch you a little video. I don't know what you need to do, Shawn, but you better at least be good. While you getting to know her, maybe ask some of the stuff she like and you work on how you gonna do that. But you better at least be good in that department. Cause baby, if you not, it's a really sad. It's gonna be terrible for you. So I think it's best for her to just get to know him, as a friend, develop that type of relationship, those feelings for him. And maybe if he's not so great in that department, maybe the love would be enough. I don't know. Y'all let me know. So anywho, Shawn and his uncle Mike are talking, and Shawn asks for honeymoon advice, and his uncle tells him, like, listen, it's worth the wait. And at the end of the day, I just think that you should respect her. And I promise you, she's gonna respect you much more just for respecting her. So just take your time with it. It ain't no rush. You ain't gotta hurry up and try to do nothing. None of that. And Shawn, while you kind of seem like you ready to go there with her, you better know what you're doing. That's all I can say. You better know what you're doing. Devin and Caitlyn. Devin talks with her dad and tells him that he's a man of respect and he lives with his heart on his sleeve, or he loves with his heart on his sleeve. And Devin tells her dad that he still wants her or wants his approval at the end of the day. I know I'm about to go off. I'm taking your daughter from you. I know this is not a normal situation, a non-traditional situation, but I still want that approval. Devin, you better get it. Because you saying the words, I'm a man of respect. What exactly does that mean? Are you a man of respect, meaning you are one to overly respect the person that you're with and their family? Or are you a man of respect only when you're the one being respected in the situation? So I cannot wait to find out exactly what he mean by that and what that looks like. And if you're going to piss her daddy off or not. Okay, let's keep going. Bel Jolie and Mecca. So his dad says that he wasn't expecting himself to like the family as much as he does and like Bel, who's I wasn't expecting that. Right. Then he says, I'm feeling it. I'm seeing what's going on between y'all. I think y'all gonna clap cheeks tonight. And some part of me is like, yo, dad, that's none of your business if they do. That's none of your business. But also, I feel like this may be some common talk with, the guys and their dad, right? But at the same, and it's about how you say it. But either way, I feel like y'all gonna clap. Whether they do or they don't ain't got nothing to do with you. I feel like y'all gonna clap cheeks. Like, what is that? Okay, then says he had a poke coming through. Feel a little poke coming through on you. Y'all don't know nothing about that next, okay? Y'all don't know nothing about the group next. But either way, so now that song is in my head. But Logic tells Mecca, I saw a little poke coming through at the altar. So you already was feeling it. And it's like, Daddy, is you cool? You joke too damn much for me. And I know you could be serious. You're a principal, but can you be a little more serious, please? Mecca says that Bel Jolie may be having baby fever because he saw her holding that baby, and he's like, that's not something I'm ready for at this time. Well, maybe she not ready for that either at this time. You know, just because you see her with a baby don't mean that she got baby fever. Like, it's cute. Like, maybe that's cute. Like, oh, this my little niece or whatever. Maybe she just want to hold her sibling, her little relative or something. Maybe that was her god baby or whatever. She may not have baby fever like that, and then she might, but that is definitely a conversation that you guys need to have on where you are with starting a family. And I would think that you guys may be a long ways from that. But who knows, child? People move very quickly. Let's get to Shawn and Nikki. Nikki is trying to be a good sport about all of this, but she is really cringing, and I'm cringing harder for her. It's time for them to do the garter toss. Okay, and this man, she wore a short skirt. She had it up her thigh and stuff. And he was like, I'm going to bite it off with my teeth or whatever. So he grabbed it with his teeth, slid it down. Maybe she liked that. I don't know. He was over there dancing. Didn't look like he had much rhythm. Didn't look like he know how to thrust that thing. And she said, is this supposed to be a lap dance? I said, damn, he going to mess up in this department. Damn, he got messed up in that sex department. I hate it so much. But either way, so he grabs it or whatever the case is with his teeth and stuff. And then he asks her if he may kiss her. And I appreciate him being respectful in that manner. And she allows him to, kiss her. Okay, we'll see. Maybe she'll like him. Maybe right now these first few episodes may not be good. Maybe they'll grow over time. We'll see. Devin and Caitlyn. So her dad gives another speech at the reception, and she lets them know, and he's letting them know like he's rooting for them. And he loves the fact that her family seems to be crazy. His family is crazy. Everybody's coming together. Everybody is blending together. So Daddy is absolutely loving that. He is loving it. He's having a blast, and I love that for him. Bel and Mecca. So they're talking, and she tells him about not meeting her dad until she was 20 and how they still don't talk to this day. She said she sat and she watched her mama raise 5 kids by herself, and she's never seen her mom married or any of it. And that's why she really wanted it more for herself. She wants a different life than what her mom had. Right. Then he tells her, well, guess what? I never grew up with my mama. Growing up without her was really tough. He said it's really sad because he's like, I got a whole brother out there and a grandma that I have no relationship with. I'm estranged from them, and it sucks. And I hate that. I hope that he gets to that place where he is able to have that conversation. I really think it's his daddy's fault. I'm not gonna hold you. I want nowhere near them folks' relationship. Don't know nothing about it. But I feel like that lady about left that situation because the dad could have been unbearable, and it could have been, I ain't even want this damn child. I don't know. Maybe she didn't want the child. Maybe she did. Maybe I don't know. But she got the hell on, and I feel like the reason she got the hell on was likely because of your daddy. Maybe your daddy told her she couldn't take you. You ain't taking my son. You could go, but you ain't taking my son. It could have been that. I wonder. But I feel like logic is somewhere the root of this. And that may not be fair, but yeah. All right. But all in all, because he suffered and he dealt with that, his mom leaving him, then his stepmom leaving him and stuff, he's like, I want to be a better example to my kids. So if children ever come into play, like I want to stick it out, I want to stay. I don't want to separate my family. I want to be that example of a healthy, happy household. And let me tell you something, young sir. You need to go to therapy. I don't know if you've been, and then if you put a pin in it or what has happened, but you need to consistently remain in therapy because you do show up as a man that needs a lot of reassurance. A lot of it. And I don't feel like all of that should be put on your partner. I think your partner should give you some reassurance, but I think that you may need to go a little deeper and find that security within yourself. And you may need to sit down on that couch and talk with that lady. And some part of Mecca still gives a kid. I don't know if it's the different jokes he often cracks or whatnot, but it does give a kid, and I would not want to go on to have a child with a man that acts like a damn kid. So hopefully you show your serious side as well. So you got some things with you that hopefully y'all can work through. Let's get to Cameron and Michelle. I don't want to say hopefully y'all can work through, but hopefully you could figure that out. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully when she starts to tell you about yourself, a lot of people can't receive criticism well. But I hope when she tells you about yourself, one, you listen. I hope you're not one of those people that's like, I know, I know, I know, I know. I can't stand when people do that. Okay, I know, I know, I know. Obviously you don't. Okay, but anyway, hopefully he is very receptive to the information. Hopefully it's something that it may be things that he is familiar with, things that he's not so familiar with. And I've learned this, thank you for letting me know. And I'll go and get that work done, the help that I need or something like that. Because I don't know, it's giving kitty, it's giving childish a little piece. Cameron and Michelle, she had a partner that she lived with for about 3 years. They almost got married. I think this could have been a person that cheated on her. I think she was the one that talked about how she bumped into a lot of guys that, messed around on her that just weren't good guys. So maybe that's what happened. So he tells her that, listen, I haven't really been in a long-term relationship ever. A lot of the girls, I had a situationship up until 6 months, and then it was like, all right, you could go. You could go. It never really lasted, to be honest. She was like, oh, damn, really? Okay. He was like, yeah, maybe I've been a little picky. She was like, oh, shit, well, I'm concerned because I feel like you might be nitpicky about everything when it comes to me. And he says that he isn't. And I'm like, no, I think you will be. I think you just might be real nitpicky when it comes to her, but we're gonna see. Belle and Mecca are talking again, and he asked her, what is she worried about? Does she have any fears? And she says, no, ironically, she doesn't. She has none. And she says, he says, what if I present something weird or something that feels weird? And I'm like, what could you possibly present? And she says the same thing. Like, what could that be? Like, it'll take a lot to weird me out because I'm a weird person too, but how weird are we going here? Right? She's like, for example, like I put ketchup on my eggs, right? And I said, girl, not ketchup, honey. Hot sauce, yes. Ketchup, no, ma'am. That's not as weird. And I don't think that's the weirdness he's talking about. But I do wonder, how weird are you talking? And in what department? Are you talking about weird in the sexual department? Weird in the activity department? You guys hanging out, doing certain tasks? What's weird? I would like to know. Can't wait to find out exactly what he's talking about. Then we have Adam and Marissa. I do think they slept together that night. Cause he's talking about he like to sleep naked or whatever, child. That's what he's saying. I said, girl, do what y'all. I heard a little kissing in there, honey. They done closed the blinds and stuff. I said, I guess y'all grown. Y'all know a piece of each other because y'all already approached each other. So they probably already hunched and got it in that night. Everybody wasn't on that. I don't think any of the other couples crossed that line. I think they could have been the only ones. And maybe they just kissed and then they rolled over and went to sleep. Maybe it wasn't anything sexual like that. Right. But when he, had all his clothes off and laid in the bed, she was like, that's what I'm talking about. Go big or go home, honey. I said, oh my. Well, again, y'all grow. Y'all gonna do what y'all want to do. Why? Cause that's just how y'all is. All right. Shawn and Nikki, and he asked if he is supposed to sleep on a couch. Like, should I sleep on a couch or what? She was like, no, you can sleep in here with me tonight. Okay, just stay on your side though. That's what you do. And she goes on to confirm what we already knew, that he isn't her physical type, but she does like his spirit and she does like his intellect. And I was like, okay. So he tells her he only sleeps in shorts. And she said, oh, just shorts. That's it. Nothing else. He was like, well, I can put a shirt on. She said, yeah, do that. You put that shirt on. I was like, damn. And he knows. He knows. He knows. He know. Oh, it's like he knows she not all that in physically. So Shawn seems to be a joker because he asked her, so what you want to do tonight? 69? I felt like he was joking, but also with that little joke, it kind of gives a little bit of, nah, if she was with it, he probably would have went with it. Didn't your uncle tell you to take it slow? So why would you then even bring 69 up? So she's like, no, okay. She says, listen, I'm not for to play into the sexual stuff. I'm not for to do it. But what I will do is be real about setting boundaries. Period. So she ended up taking off her makeup and he asked for a kiss. And she's like, let's hold off on that for a minute. Okay. She says, I don't need him trying to kiss me every 5 minutes. I feel like he's pushing it a bit. I agree. I agree. It was so like, why you need to kiss her? Did you just get enough like why what like huh? What was that about? You was trying to still see if she was in that mood? I don't know, Shud. It's bothering me so bad. Anywho, so he says he thinks he is a bit more comfortable with her than she is, and he thinks she may feel a bit awkward. You think? 1000%. And so when they were talking, he was getting ready to get in the bed or something. And he told her, like, oh, well, don't act like you want to be in this bed. You know, you want to be on the couch. And she's like, well, listen, it is 3 couches in there. It is. And I probably would have want you in there on that couch. However, okay. However, it's been a long day. We had a lot going on, and I figured you probably wanted to lay somewhere softly like I did. But also, I think she just wanted to be in the bed and talk more and get to learn more about him and stuff. So I think that's the reason she decided to let him go ahead and, lay with her tonight. But either way, that's pretty much what all took place over there on Married at First Sight. You guys can leave your thoughts and comments down below about everything that took place. Again, I am Jamie, that's me. Like up this video, subscribe to this channel, share this video, follow me on social media, okay? At Jamie, that's me. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Like it up, like it up, like it up.